Okay, I haven't actually had a chance to look at all the stuff yet. As you can see, all the stuff, Field Office Task Force and Better Battles is all here already. I actually haven't actually looked at it yet because it has been hard for me to actually go and do this. But now that the update's out, I feel obligated to look at it. So, okay. This is gonna be hard for me to do, I think. Um, so I don't even know where to. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So Field Off. Wait, this is. Oh wait, I'm going. I opened up the page and it automatically was already there. Okay, so here we go first. Okay, I saw this trailer already. I think I actually want to watch this. Okay, actually, I'm going to skip to the Field Office part because this stuff is irrelevant. So I'm not gonna have the music on. I just want to look at it. There were some parts of it that I saw, like, okay, there's a tune there funding a mover and shaker, which I don't actually think you can do. There's also Hollywoods and other stuff in the street. I wonder if that's a thing. Rocky coming out of a trash can. I wonder. I think some of the stuff is kind of over exaggerated, like dumping out of the trash can. But who knows? They could do that. All the resistance rated. Teleporting directly to the field office. I don't think that's. I don't think they're gonna add that. Maybe they will. I don't know. That's loud in. Yeah. Okay. Uh. He's hacking, by the way. He has a cog suit in a place he's not supposed to have. Ban this guy. Ban this guy. Anyway. Yeah, multiple annexes. Oh yeah, they were making the expressions they were making. Oh, actually, right. As the officers run out of the HQ, you can look at their mouths. Are these actually the HQ officers in the headquarters? Okay. Uh, hideout does the teleport animation. The hideout. There's that. Okay. So yeah. So field offices, all new threat is in the horizon. The Subbot are taking over 2 in HQ. So what field offices persist across all districts. Yep, I need more than just one group to take down. Grab your best gags, join your friends, and help save 2 in HQ. Okay. Uh, these solo field offices are so devoid of silliness. Some of your gags. Wait, oh, won't work inside the building. You need to battle your way to the annexes to recover stolen jokes. Well, yeah, Joey went over this in Toonfest. Which I was in, by the way. People of the suburbs have gotten their very own offices. These cutthroat cars will try to trap tunes on their turf to prevent their progress. However, tunes can beat these Sabots and recover jokes in the process, powering up an effective gag. Okay, that's cool. Like a certain amount you need to get. Aw, running from the river and shaker. He's too afraid to throw Oh, actually, hold on. That just ended the stream. That's weird. Try that again. There we go. You can see my cursor now. he's holding water, but he's too afraid to throw the water balloon at the presumably mover and shaker. Or just stopping guard of the mega movers, supersized mover and shakers that will threaten to shake you off your feet and back to the playground. No time for water cooler talk. Fill up the water balloon and throw them at the cogs. If you can make the cogs burst from laughter, you may just find a way out of here. Before I got banned, I actually saw someone mention to a cast member, what if we could throw water balloons at people in the playground? You never know. they might do that. Okay, actually, I'm gonna that's not Code color keep goals. The classic office battleground, the battle of the thermostat. The code colors keep things way too cold. You'll need to skate through cubicles and turn the heat up the heat. Yeah, the cold colors won't just sit there and melt. They'll turn the thermostats back down. Yep. You know, Joey gave an example and stuff. Okay, so are these just images? Oh, they're just. Oh, look at this. Yeah, just images. Okay, so it looks like. Oh, this guy. Oh, what is this? A staff member here? Guy right here. Are these all staff members? Look how they give us these pictures to look at. Okay. Looks like okay. So it shows damage values for the cog. So they actually have a specific amount of health, I guess. Or do they all do 30 damage? Oh, you got a sound icon here. I guess that means I like how they use the silly team for. I guess that means they unlock sound. That. Okay. Okay. Okay, they unlock 2 of the. Oh, look at that. Okay. Thanks. Okay. Yeah, I saw this. Oh yeah, I saw this. So this mover and shaker here is orange. I guess that means they have 3 health stages instead of 2. Because he's right here. Yeah. Okay. Huh. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Same. All the same teams. It must be playtesters or staff members. Uh. Yeah. Joey showed us all off. I'm guessing all the animations work like it did last time. Uh, oh, the wind. That reminds me of Mario Kart, where if you go behind someone, you would get the wind and you would go faster. Okay. That's cool. Looks like this is. Yeah. You can see. It looks like this is more cooled down. Okay. That's cool. Oh, name. It's not. Oh, that's not just code call. This is a name dropper right there. Was there other cogs in? Oops. That's a. I rickrolled you guys. Ah, gotcha. Or whatever. That was my mistake. I actually had that up because I edited something using the rickroll lyrics. Oh well, got you guys accidentally. Okay, there's only code colors there. There's only code colors here too. Okay, I guess there aren't just code colors. Boiler room boss. Oh yeah. This cat trying to take on the boiler room boss with just a seltzer bottle and a $1 bill. After climbing to the top of the annex, you find the Cellbot's boiler room and high pressure cells. Oversee. Why is the boiler room on the top? Boiler room is meant to be on the bottom. Even the normal cog buildings have it on the bottom. Boiler room is an all-new cog boss, unlike any cog you've encountered before. Don't be a pushover. The boiler room managed to put even the most battle-hardened tunes under intense pressure I can imagine. Defeat the boiler and power to the entire annex will be cut. Bring the subway. Wow. The trailer also showed 50 annexes, right? How can that many annexes fit in a field office? Oh, that's it. Okay, great. Let's go up now. Task force. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at this. I guess I'll just saw this one too. But okay. So, oh no, I saw this one. Yeah, this one I don't. Yeah, this one I don't care about this one. I believe it's. I don't actually know if it's like old. If it's old footage, whatever. This one I don't believe this one had anything too relevant. It was just talking about joining the resistance and like stuff like that. Because at the time of this video being released, the Toon Resistance didn't actually know about field offices, so. Enter the hideout. Counter the dastardly field offices, the Toon Resistance set up a hideout in the sewers beneath Subbot HQ. Once you prove that you have what it takes, you can join the Toon Resistance and earn exclusive access to the all-new Subbot Task Force hideout. I won't be able to do that, unfortunately. You need to complete all Toon tasks through downloads through menu. Yeah, and I have all these requirements. I'm a 137 Toon who cannot experience any of these, unfortunately. 50 new Toon tasks. Wow. That just makes me more upset. The Resistance Raiders of the Cellbot Task Force. Oh. You guys can see that. Okay, alright. Cellbot Task Force needs your help to unearth the catastrophic cog plot, complete over 50 new tasks with an immersive story, not to mention dozens of new optimization tasks with. Oh wow. Okay, so we got Green Trainee Stam, Naggy Nell, join the. Oh, that's. Okay, yeah, join the Toon Resistance. One cold collar cubicle. Defeat one cold collar cubicle. 150 Cellbot skill points. Dr. Googly Moogly. Googly Moogly. Okay, just okay. 6 Mega Movers. Okay, what if that counts if anyone defeats them, or it has to be you? 2,300 Cellbot merits. Task for collecting merits. Wow. So for Cellbots to max it, you can do that. Help 65 laugh tune or less cog buildings. Looks like the skill up points are also have trash can icon there. Green Trainee Stamp. Wow. So much stuff I'll be missing. If you join the Toon Resistance, you will unlock a brand new page of your sticker book, Resistance Rank. By completing Toon tasks, you can earn stamps and skill points to rank up. As you rank up, you will unlock Resistance's badges and exclusive rewards such as accessories, clothing, and even laugh points that you can laugh air to heights. Oh, more laugh? Oh yeah, more laugh. Yeah, I think they said. Okay. This is cool stuff. And more rank up reward. Flunky classes, I'm guessing? What is... Oh, that's a backpack. These are boots. Well, up to 139 right now, I suppose, and other stuff. Okay, that was quick. Okay. I wonder like if the ranks how similar they will be to levels in the this one I saw, yeah. So the building gets taken over, yeah. So the battle of the cogs. You can't see the damage values they do. Yeah, Mega Movers. Yeah, this is the first task you get. Oops, sorry, I don't want that on, just so I can talk better. You have the animation for that. And what if that's always going to be that sign? That'd be cool. Wake up to earn rewards. Oh yeah, okay. I'm just gonna skip forward. Okay, let's get rid of this. What the heck? But yeah, here's... Okay, every time I pause it. So we got the hideout here. Field office. All new battle. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that was so cool actually. And how like your gag get disabled halfway through. Okay. Sorry. Got this is yeah. So information about SOS card. Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. I saw this, but wasn't exactly sure what was going on. So he's using SOS card, right? It says he's using a geyser, but it says it's an SOS card is what's actually using it. Loopy Loopin' Loop is using it. Okay. Oh, from an SOS too. Yeah. Okay. Cool. the sticky notes. Oh yeah, remote control. Let's watch this. So uses the healing remote. Uses it against the cog. He has an antenna in him. He dances. Does song and dance. That's cool. Bring back song and dance for a different purpose. Healing everyone. Great. I can imagine this to be very useful for the field offices. And yeah, I got really excited for this one. You got a level 13 Two-Face. Not only is it level 13, higher than 12, but it's also higher than level 10, which is what Two-Faces can normally go up to. We got a level 11 Mover and Shaker, and also level 11 Two-Face. So they managed to go beyond the cog, beyond the cog level cap. I would assume this only applies to field offices. Yeah. Yeah. Because making them go higher than 12 in other bosses, I feel like takes a little too much away from the vanilla so what was I saying? Sorry. It changes too much. Like this is about field offices. That would involve buffing the bosses essentially, right? Making the bosses stronger. When this is supposed to be about field offices, not other bosses. So, also I feel like it strays a little bit too far away from what T-Tier wants to do by making the bosses harder. By making the bosses harder in that way. So level 13 Two-Faces. Imagine how much damage Quake from a level 11 Mover and Shaker would do. Okay, so oh, I like how the elevator like opens like that really quickly. Like that kind of bounces as it opens. Geyser, cog exploding, camera, timer for the elevator, and then yeah, the door closes, and the last one is the boiler room. Yeah, great. Look, it looks like they can just like that mouse can just fit in between the grates there. The boiler room. And there's that. Yeah. Okay. That was probably my most exciting part, was seeing the cogs go higher than level 12. Anyway, I'm not gonna skip because I actually did miss a few small things like this here. These I don't know what exactly they'll give. Look at his uniform though. It's different from the normal Sobot uniform. Looks like the one on the left here has the normal one, but this guy is yeah. But this guy has something different. Boards. Yeah, ranks. Oh yeah. Oh my god. So AS, that's the person for the AS in the lore. Okay. Anyway, redesign interfaces. Toontown's entire battle system has rebuilt and redesigned with a fresh experience. Improved flexibility for future. Oh, actually, wait. I thought they actually showed more of the UI. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. So stopper room, battle UI, all the stuff. You got SOS cards, fires, remote control, and doodles. Sticky notes, which we saw before. All the SOS cards says what they do more, kind of. Okay, sticky notes there. Okay, there's that. So, okay. There's major battle systems rebuilt and redesigned, improves usability, flexibility for future expansion, and support for all. Sorry, for all new strategies introduced inside Subfield offices. With this major improvement, Toons can now battle level 13 plus cogs with new mechanics such as remote controls and status effects. Ooh, status effects. Alright, yeah, we got this. Oh, they don't have remote controls. They don't have a doodle or remote control. That's funny. Okay. Wow. Oh, I see. This must be for the reward. This is the pass. This is... What is that? What is that icon? I don't know. Huh. Whatever. Okay. Yeah, there's restricted gags. Level 12 mover and shaker. Wow. Was 11 before, right? It was 11 before, yeah. These guys are level 8 telemarketer. Okay. We got the healing remotes. Yeah, all this stuff here. Oh, so this is actually goes on to the gags thing here. There's also an arrow here that instead of having to click the tab. That's cool. So there's no longer an SOS tab page on your book. You just got it right next to the gags page. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, okay. Status effects. Corporate Clash. Status effects are now a new addition to Toontown's battle system, most commonly found in select field offices. These effects apply for multiple rounds and require close teamwork to use for your advantage. Status effects can come in helpful, harmful, or neutral variants, yours view that you may encounter. Trapped. Simple. Drop like Corporate Clash. Lured. Again, like Corporate Clash. As far as the damage is taken or if it lasts too long. Accuracy up. Accuracy up. Is that for like, hit and Cog's miss, I guess? Remote heal, yeah. Performs a damage gives all tunes a tune-up, tells a bad joke to deal damage to other cogs. Tells a bad joke? Wouldn't the jokes have to be good so the cogs laugh and they take damage? That's how it works, they laugh. Defense up, take less damage from incoming. Oh, huh. Damage up, attacks deal additional damage. Huh. Must be a status effect for cogs. Because, like, maybe the boiler boss would do that. Stores health at the end of every turn. Ah. Inflicts damage at the end of every turn. Damage over time. Burn gags! Burn gags! Okay. Gag ordnance. Cannot use the specified gag track. Oh, and more. Okay, cool. Is and more a specific status effect? Okay. Okay. Turn resistance fast and useful with sub headquarters offices after all. Remote controls. By defeating annexes, you can earn remote controls to turn the tide of the battle for a team by recruiting a cog as your ally. With the dance remote control, a cog will get their groove on and state of performance for the heal tunes, song and dance. With the joke remote control, a cog will tell a joke to the coworkers to damage their circus. No matter how hard we try, those cogs just can't seem to take a joke. So this is interesting though. So if you're not in a field office and you use a remote control, can you basically do that to stop your group from sound spamming? Like, okay guys, let's use sound. And then you use a remote control. And then if they use sound, you can like kind of report your team for making you waste a remote control, right? Or you can just make them get really mad by using a remote control, making them feel forced not to use sound so that you can keep the cog alive. Right? Anyway, oh, is this? Oh, I thought this was a hat. That's not a hat. Okay, this is using remote control. I wonder if the animation of them holding it up is going to be part of the game. Okay. This is. Oh my god, what is this animation? What's the Hollywood doing? Yeah, someone actually showed me this picture. Yeah, it made a joke. What's the dog doing? What the Holly doing? I don't. Okay, so there's two different things happening here. They're all so all three tunes are using remote control. Also, there's only 3 tunes, not 4 tunes in this battle. I wonder if they're all the same. Oh, one of these two are green, this one's blue. So I'm guessing the green ones heal. I'm guessing, right? Yes, the green ones heal, the blue ones damage. I wonder how many you get for each office. Oh, also, I also asked a question at ToonFest asking how much we'd be able to hold. They said 100 of them. We'd be able to hold 100 of them. 100 of them. I'm guessing you can hold 100 of each tier of them. I'm guessing. Oh yeah, okay. So each tier, I guess, does more damage or heals more. Okay, cool. Work together to defeat the boiler. Ooh, look at that. Top of each annex sits a boss cog like none other, the boiler. This all-new sub-boss cog specializes in high-pressure sales tactics. Don't let your guard down. Those golden eyes we see everything throughout the entire field office, studying their targets to unleash the ultimate sales strategy. We don't see those. Wait. Oh, sorry, I was thinking of cog buildings. Never mind. I was going to say we don't see those eyes in the field office. No, I was thinking of cog buildings. Okay. They're also on the outside of the field office, right on both sides of it. Boiler. Oh, yeah, play now. Okay. Boiler is Toontown's first turn-based boss battle, so the toughest challenge yet. Oh yeah, if you don't count the mini-bosses from Clash, then yeah, it is, if you count this as an actual boss, and not a mini-boss, then yeah, okay, sure. It's the toughest challenge yet. The fiery metal menace will alternate strategies throughout the battle, so pay close attention to the status effects. Be careful about getting them fired up. Will you prioritize damaging the boiler or taking down their cog lackeys to prevent laugh loss? Oh, that reminds me. Right. I feel like they should make a penalty for killing all the Cog lackeys on the same turn, right? To make it so that you can't just use a Fire SOS to kill all the Cog lackeys, and then everyone else can target the boiler, right? Now, there's a lot of people that have 100 of them, so it might be pretty common to see that. But I wonder if they would create a penalty for killing all the Cogs in one round. What are you waiting for? Grab gags? Yeah, I can't do them, sorry. Okay. Now I want to look at the release notes, which I already have up here. Right? So, yeah, I refreshed the page. It is, yeah, releases right before they release, December 3rd. I already have the release notes up. So, I didn't look, I only, like, glanced at them and actually, like, take a full look at them. I just opened them up, ready to record. So, some fields have been landed, yeah, all this stuff. There's no nonsense Cog abilities take over tune headquarters and will test your skills with limited gag slash Cog offices. This is hard for me to read. I'm sorry. I'm still just upset about this. Man, okay. I was okay about it before. Now that field, because the last thing I wanted was for field offices to release before I'm unbanned. Me still being banned when the field office release, and now it's happening. And this is just really hard for me to read. But I want to show my reaction. These massive skyscrapers have many annexes inside them, each of which must be taken over by a group. You'll need to work together with other tunes in order to take the whole thing down. Unlike Cog building, sublet field offices persist across all districts of Tune. Each sublet field office has a difficult rating from 1 to 3 stars. 3-star field offices are an immense challenge, so you may want to start 1 or 2 stars. Yeah. How would they go about spawning them, though? Inside a sublet field office, you'll find dastardly level 13 plus cogs. You also spot increased level ranges for all oh yeah, we saw that, right? Level, like, 13s for 2 faces. Okay, so I was right. It is only for field offices, I guess. Okay. For all types of cogs. I wonder if invasions affect. I don't think invasions would affect them, even though they do affect buildings, right? Yeah. Defeating the boiler. Oh, it's like how the boiler are both capitalized. Funny. Okay. Hunt out the annex will earn you a few varying types of cog remote controls. Brand new to change down. Remote controls let you seize control of a cog in battle, causing area of effect damage on tunes. What use are remote controls to the cogs when they have them before they come into possession of the tunes, though? Main Tune task line has been expanded. After earning your boss bot cog disguise, visit any Tune HQ office to pick up your desk details. Whispering Blood is gone. Yeah. Well, you also need a level 7 gag. That's it. Right. The two they kind of put merged 2 requirements by saying you have to complete the task line. They've made another requirement saying you also have to have all your cog suits, which upon completing that task line, you would have all your cog suits if you count the cog suits as part of the task line. So you don't need to make those 2 separate requirements, but they did. A brand new hideout has been constructed in the Summit headquarters. Anyone who proves to the Tune resistance that they have what it takes to go into their ranks can join their ranks and enter this new area. Okay. Yeah, we saw them going into the sewer. I wonder if the factory sewer will like be any relevance at any point. Maybe when they add the 140 laugh thing. Right, maybe that will be available later. Right, okay. For the factory manhole. After joining the resistance, I can't believe the cogs are falling for the fact that it says not a secret hideout. The cogs, like, they made a field office, and they immediately went to go make a hideout, like, 2 days after finding out about it, and the cogs did nothing about it. Like, the cogs just didn't care. I guess the cogs can be confident about their works of the field office. I can imagine they would be, though. After joining the resistance, you'll get access to a new sticker book, rewards by completing 2 tasks in the hideout. So we can actually finally become an actual member of the resistance, according to what it's saying, at least. That's cool. Resistance rank has new form progression to rank up and earn rewards by completing tasks in the hideout. But will there be just for fun tasks that give other things, like defeat a couple field offices and you get a lot of beans or other things? Or merits if you haven't completed, if you haven't maxed up yet? Laugh boosts and dozens of new accessories and clothing options can be earned by ranking up. The maximum laugh points has been raised to 139. A little birdie told us that, yeah, more laugh boosts will be available in future update. Okay, yeah. Said that in the page I was reading. Introducing a new battle mechanic, status effects. Status effects can apply unique effects to battle members for multiple rounds. Check out the Sublet Task Force website for a look at some. Yeah, okay, yeah. We've built the internal battle system from scratch to support all of the new features you find in Sublet Field Offices, as well as have the flexibility to support future content. You're able to access your friends list and open up Tune and Cog panels during battles because of this. The option to call a friend in the battle has been removed. Okay, great. I like how they did that. Most of the servers have added that in. I'm surprised it took them a long time to do that. Now they just need client-side NPCs. uh, I can imagine that the NPCs would be very full on release day. That like client-side NPCs would be very useful at least for that time. But as a result of the above change, the battle timer has been moved to the bottom right of the game window. Corporate Clash did that. Why are you copying? Okay, kidding. The battle timer has been increased to all battles for 30 seconds. So you can now have more time to communication. Nice. You can now hover over a teammate's gag choice to see stats, what their slash including damage will do, is more stress, most cards will. Yes, okay. Invasion double experience credit is now counted as you use your gags rather than being considered if an invasion is active at the end of a cog battle or cog build. That's nice. That's nice. You don't have to like wait for for invasion to start using your gags. Okay. I haven't played for 1.5 years. I forgot that was a thing. That was an issue. Invasion double experience credit. Oh wait, I've read that. Varying types of credit multipliers now show up more consistently in your battle menu. What exactly does that mean? So, oh, I don't exactly know what that means. Like, it's like merits and cog bucks and stuff. Okay, I'm not exactly 100% sure what that means. When joining battles, cogs move to their proper positions in a more orderly manner. Oh, oh, oh! I think I saw someone make a video, uh, a while ago on Rewritten. This was already a feature where instead of when like there's like 4 cogs waiting to join the battle, right, and they kind of cross each other a little bit, they don't do that anymore. They just move upward, which is really cool. And when I saw it for the first time, I was like, wait, what just happened? Did the cogs just do that? So yeah, that's cool. Cog longer will bring in cog reserves in order of their level. Instead, various levels will be mixed together. So is that like the new cog buildings in Clash as well, where the levels vary more? Because in bosses it doesn't really vary. Well, it does vary, but like it kind of goes from low level to high level, and then back to low level to high level again. So in cog buildings, it doesn't do that anymore. I guess it can give you like a bunch of 11s and 9s, and then later on it can give you 10s. I guess. Okay. Made visual improvements to cog attack names in battle movies. Wonder what that means. I mean, I know what it means, but wonder what they did to it. I mean, fix a long-standing bug that caused cog name tags and shadows to appear misaligned with the position. Oh, I think that has to do with animations, where like if the cog is doing like the hose animation, right? It's going knockback from the hose. The name tag would remain stationary above where the cog is actually supposed to be. The cog moving backwards is an animation, but the cog itself is still in that spot. It's doing the animation in that spot, and it's remaining in that place as the animation plays. Right. It's sort of like the beta version. It's sort of like when Beta Toontown jumping, right? Beta Toontown, you wouldn't actually jump. It was just an animation of your tune going up and down, but you weren't actually jumping. You weren't actually making any height. But then in like 2014, I believe, they made it so your tune actually does move upward. I believe that animation can be seen in parties if you do up, 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 maybe? Oh, I think... Yeah, up, up, up. I'm not really sure. I'm not 100% sure, but one of the dance moves will do that. In fact, one time I was in Toonfest, it broke so badly that my tune started doing that animation. Like, I was on a trampoline, I think, and I got off of it, and my tune got stuck somehow, and they started doing that jumping animation. I'm like, what the heck? This was before parties were released. And so, I immediately recognized that animation as a party dance move. And I was like, is this supposed to be some sort of teaser for parties? But anyway, I say Toonfest. This was before, sorry, the in-game Toonfest before it was called Cartoonival. What? People are clear about that. Okay. Fix the long. Oh, okay. The shadows though. The shadows. I don't remember the shadows being all that. Okay. Patch the long-standing issue that will cause students to stop animating when joining. Oh yeah, right. It happens you can see it happening in the factory or other facilities a lot because the battle trigger hitbox is much larger. Where if a tune is trying to join a battle that's already started, right? They'll start running around to the battle, and then suddenly their animation just freezes, and they'll just slide over to the battle. Whatever position they were in, whether they were like in the middle of stepping or they were like standing, I guess. Their animation just freezes and they just slide to the battle, right? It's funny, and then it continues to work after they actually get into the battle. But in fact, even if they're waiting behind their tunes, I think it works. Anyway, the Cog Battle menu has been reimagined. We worked hard to preserve the classic feeling of Toontown battles while reintroducing modern elements. And I feel like it feels not much like vanilla Toontown. I don't know, but I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I feel like them saying they're trying to keep the classic feeling. I feel like it looks a little too new for it to keep that feeling. But okay. Pink slips and all the new Cog remote controls have been grouped up together alongside SOS cards and doodle tricks and new unified menu. New design carries over to sticker book, where gags and SOS cards have been merged into a single inventory page. Okay, yeah, okay. Oh, so the gag page is called inventory now? Is that what that means? We've balanced many aspects of the battles. This update, a summary of the changes is listed below, but we recommend checking out toon.town/balancing to see the full reason that went to these changes. Okay, I'll check that out in a second. Decrease level 12 cog health very slightly. Oh, wait, sorry. I was like reading it, but wasn't actually reading. Decrease level 12 cog health very slightly. How much health do level 12s have now? 182? Does it follow the formula? Level 13 plus calls you different formula to determine their health. What formula? How much health do level 12s have now? Huh. So, all level 12s, not just for field offices? I would say that's more of a nerf. Yeah, that is a nerf to boss battles, depending on how much of a change that is. If it's 182, which I would expect it to be. But as expected, level 13 plus cogs do follow a different formula, so, okay. Just to show that they are different cogs from field offices. Okay. Decrease healing power of the pixie. Decrease healing power of the. Oh yeah, balancing. Okay. Oh, the pixie does 60 to 7/70, 50 slash. Is it 60 with not max, 70 to maxed? I guess. 50 to 60 because it's minus 10. Okay. Decrease healing power of Dugan cubes 90 out of 120. 75 105. Wow. Tune-up was kind of broken. I'll say that, but wow. Increase base damage of the trapdoor 60/70 is 75/85, so 15 more. Wow. Actually, that's nice. Because trapdoor is very underpowered compared to TNT. Increase base damage of the railroad. It does 200 damage. You don't need organic trap anymore. I can get rid of my organic trap if I ever get back into the game. I can get organic throw again. Oh, that's so nice. I liked having organic trap because it killed the 12s. Now you don't need that anymore. Alright. I can go back to organic throw. If I get back into the game. Decrease the amount of lure rounds. Decrease the amount of lure rounds for the presentation. 15 to 8. I guess 15 was kind of busted, but still, wow. I'm surprised they reverted that, considering they're the ones who made that change in the first place. Increase base accuracy of the presentation. The base accuracy was 90%? I thought the base accuracy was 95% already. Because people were saying that because I've seen a lot of people say that organic presentation actually doesn't increase the accuracy at all, because the accuracy is already 95%, and anything that's not trap can't have 100% accuracy, or else the game like breaks. So, were they wrong about that or something? Increase base damage of the safe with base damage of the save with the new. Oh right, because drop gags don't vary in damage except for piano. Now it used to do 60. Now it does 60 as the lowest and 70 as the high. That's so cool. Wow, 70 damage. Okay, yeah. If you compare like all of the level 5 gags are really underpowered compared to level 6 gags, and then compare level 6 to level 7. Other than the fact they can hit all the cogs, there isn't too much of a damage difference. Increase healing amount to tune up SOS. Oh, increase. Oh yeah, healing does tune up SOS. Yeah. Tune up SOS. I feel did need that because while I think it did do the same as normal tune up, due to the fact that you could use the SOS on 4 tunes. You can't normally use tune up on 4 tunes, right? But since the SOS cards can, they were really underpowered when it came to using it on 4 tunes. So like Flippy would only heal like what, 30? In normal, if there were 4 tunes, where if you're 3 tunes using it and you're using a tune up on 3 tunes, right? The juggling cubes would do 45. Okay, so I'm glad they made that. They buffed. Okay, so 45, 70, and 124. Those are the old values. The 60, 120, and 180. Flippy is almost a high dive. Wow. Except for the fact, again, you can use on 4 tunes, so it would decrease the power a little bit. But okay. Just in case you didn't know, group tune-up does the amount it says it heals, but it divides it among the tunes. So say you have a tune-up that does the heals 30, right? I don't believe there is a tune-up that does that, but you have 4 tunes, and one of the tunes uses it on 3, right? It splits up the healing among the 3 tunes, so 10, 10, 10. But if it was on 1 tune, it would just do the whole 30. Sound gags don't work like that, fortunately, because sound wouldn't be very useful, I don't think, if it did do that. Coach Z somewhere really upset about his sound still. Okay, increased damage of Trap SOS. Trap SOS was really underpowered as well. 50, 70, 50 and 70, so not 5-star, to 60 and 120. That's nice, okay. Okay. It looks like they are stronger than their gag counterparts, so that's... okay, yeah. I think they are, right? Yeah. Decrease the amount of lure rounds of the 5-star lure SOS. Thank you! Little Old Man was essentially just a free presentation. Right? You would have no reason to use a presentation with a Little Old Man, because it's perfect accuracy if you have a presentation. Actually, no, it's perfect accuracy, because yeah, they made it so, I believe I was still banned when I was already banned when they added this though, but they made it so that even though if you don't have the gag track, the SOS card won't miss. So you essentially don't need a it's essentially a free presentation because this Little Man has perfect accuracy, which presentation doesn't have. And God, I keep losing my train of thought. Oh, and it also acts as the same amount of rounds. It's just a better presentation. Why would you use the presentation over a Little Old Man? And you can hold more Little Old Mans in a single presentation, so. On one end, though, you need to do a boss to get it, and you need to SOS shop for it, unless you get lucky. So there's that, but still. The carrying capacity of track gags has been changed for parity with other gags. Oh, so you can hold 3 TNT, is that what it means? Oh, that's cool. Oh, you know what? I think, that's... wait. That's not what I was looking for. Here's what I'm looking for. I was looking for... yeah, I did read this blog post and I scrolled down, but I didn't actually read that. Okay. Where... better... oh yeah, better battles, I believe. Oh yeah. This... yeah, no, that was the guy... okay, that guy's trapless. That's a bad example. That guy's trapless. Oh great. Oh great. You can't even... you can't see it. Because the one picture of it is on a tune that's trapless, so... okay. Fortunate. Okay. Okay. I was gonna say, I feel like you can like go there and see it, but okay. I guess you can't. Whatever. That's fine. I guess they also maybe they did it on purpose so they don't spoil that patch note, but whatever. Okay. So tune-up units have been rebalanced to be entire range to be more fair and desirable across the board. 10, 20, 40, 80 max to 20, 35, 50, 65, and 80. Again, copying Clash by changing the SOS cards, getting rid of max. I'm mainly joking, but still. Mainly joking. But Rewritten and Clash have been on good terms recently, so maybe Clash kind of collaborated with them a little bit? Who knows? But wow, Tune-Up Unite rebalance, wow. Guess it goes to show that they need to do some rebalancing for the field offices. Multiple boss rewards now have lower caps. Aw. All unites now have a cap of 100. Used to be like, what, the 16-bit integer? Yeah. Like 36,000, I think, yeah. But pink slips now have a cap of 200. Why? Why did you do that? What's the point? You'll not be able to receive any more rewards beyond these caps, but your current reward amounts will not be forcibly taken away until May 31st, 2020. Why? Why that date? Is that when the next lap point is coming out? Oh, that makes me feel like I should use when I get back on the game. I really hope I do. Seriously. I keep forgetting what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I can use up my rewards. Even then, if I don't get unbanned, hopefully I will. They'll just go down by themselves. Tune-up units and gag-up units now have a 3-minute cooldown that applies to both types of units at the same time. After using each one. When joining battles, this time-based cooldown converts into a round-based status effect, where every minute left in your cooldown adds an additional round to that. Copy and clash. But I can understand what it is. So, like, field officers would be busted for field officers. Seriously. Cogs always miss SOS cards have now been replaced with Cogs accuracy down SOS cards, which apply a 75% accuracy down status effect, and stop at the now standard 5% minimum accuracy. Wait. At the new standard 5%. Wait. So, stop at the new standard 5% minimum accuracy. This effect not only applies to Cogs that are in the battle when it 5% minimum what? So are they saying that we can sack them and it will go down to 5%, I guess? Okay, whatever. This effect not only applies to Cogs that were in the battle when it was used, but lasts a round longer than it is used on each tier. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. So 3-star doesn't last as long as 4 and 5-star. Again, copying clash. Mainly joking when I say this, but I still find it funny to say. Copying clash. Again, I said this when OCLO came out, that when they made all these changes to the SOS cards, like instead of making it so the SOS cards attack for you, they boost you up, and making it so instead of making it so Cogs miss, they instead do less damage. Instead of making it guaranteed to hit, they just make you more likely to hit. I was saying is that why can't they just keep the old SOS cards and just make these changes only apply to overclocked bosses? Easy, right? Rewritten managed to make it so that the level cap for Cogs will only apply for field officers. So I like that. I like that they didn't change that in adding the higher levels, they didn't actually change any of the balancing of the bosses, because that doesn't apply to the bosses, only the field officers. Now you could argue that like some of the cards were pretty busted, but we've been using them for so long, and like maybe nerfing them damaging wise would be okay, but honestly, I feel like it would have been best to just keep them how they are and keep overclock bosses with the nerf. You could also argue that, well, then new players of overclock bosses wouldn't be prepared for that change, and they would use an SOS card expecting it to do something really good and just get boosted. My solution to that is that when you get your washroom key, you get a message on your screen. Preferably one you can't delete for 10 seconds, just because it is pretty important. But also, you're only going to get that message once anyway, so it's fine. It tells you that, like, you know how to access the overclocked CLO. In this boss, some things work differently. Your SOS cards will work differently. And stuff like that, right? Just letting them know that SOS cards won't work the same way. Right? And, in Rain, the Rain SOS card was pretty busted too. Again, they could have just removed the combo damage bug and move on with it. But okay, whatever. Oh, I skipped this one here. What the heck? Okay. Toons always hit SOS cards now have been replaced with Toons accuracy up SOS cards. I had assumed that was coming. Okay. I had assumed that was coming because I read the Cog one. Okay. And cap at the 95% maximum accuracy. This effect not only applies. Okay, whatever. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Huh. I feel like again that's just to accommodate for field offices, but what is it saying when it says apply a 75 and cap at the standard 95% minimum maximum accuracy? How do you get the effectiveness of it to go up? Do you have to use multiple of them? I guess. Like 2 tunes use 2 different of the cards, right? You can't use 2 of the same card apparently, but you can use 2 different cards of the same kind. 2 different cards of the same type, not the same NPC. Single track restock SOS cards now. So that is an interesting change. Sorry, so think about it. Single track restock SOS cards not only restock a maximum of 12 gags. Thank you for that. I hated the fact that it just restocked all your gags in that track, and then you're stuck. I guess using a gag up all would reset that to your last purchase, but still. Then you're stuck with those gags. Restock all SOS cards not only restock a maximum of 45 gags. So is it not based off your your last purchase, or is it still based off your last purchase, but it like kind of restocks the 45 best gags? Single track gag up unites not only restock a maximum of 7, and gag up all unites not only restock a maximum of 30. Honestly, you're probably not gonna need more than 30 anyway. Like that's it. If it restocks 30, that should be enough. You got all your 6s, most of your 5s left. That seems pretty good. Remove the lure stacking rounds mechanic that allowed the accumulation of lure rounds being affected. Oh no, okay. When presentation was still 15, you would be able to make it. You would be able to stall the rounds 15, 30, 40 for 60 rounds. If each round lasted 20 seconds before, we do 60 times 20. That would be 1,200 seconds. Convert that to minutes. 20 minutes. Wait there for 20 minutes for all the rounds. Oh, I had to use a calculator. Wait there for 20 minutes for the rounds to go by. If you need to go AFK in a boss, just tell your team, let's use 4 presentations real fast. Or maybe someone uses a little man. I don't think they're going to do that because they don't want to use... People don't like using level 7s like that, but still. If you wanted to, you could use 4 presentations, you know, do a chore, walk a dog or something. Come back, and everything will still be there. That's fun. But, okay, so it can't stack lures anymore. I guess it wasn't utilized all too much anyway. At least I never utilized it very much. So I guess it's not that bad. Okay. Trap SOS cards will now only target cogs that have vacant spots to place traps. They will not place traps on lured already trapped cogs. Oh, so if you use a Clara and they're already trapped cogs, I think what used to happen was the cogs would back up to accommodate for the trap being placed. Railroad did that too. Sorry, looking at Discord. Sorry about that. Railroad did that too, where the cogs would back up if there were already some lured. Fortunately. Okay, if there are active trap gags on cogs and a railroad gag is placed on a subsequent round by itself, it will override the previously placed trap gags rather than fizzling out. That's a good change. That is a good change. I actually had a dream a long time ago. I believe I was still playing the game I was still in the game at that time, where they made it so that low trap gags will not override higher trap gags, and the higher trap gags will still be placed. I think that's a pretty good. That would be a pretty good change too, honestly. You can stop trolling by using banana peels. They just stopped trolling by with the railroad thing a little bit. I think if you use a banana peel with a railroad, I think that would still count as fizzling though. Unfortunately, I don't know. Maybe it does, and it's not being specific enough. Remove the carryover. Why is carryover damage capitalized? Mechanic from version 2.0 cogs. Any excess same track gag damage will be nullified responding to the skull cog. Oh no! Interesting. Why did they remove that? They're the only server to remove it. Why did they do that? For field offices? Or the version 2.0 cogs in field offices? Man. Again, just make it apply to only field offices if that's the case. Come on. It's so not toony, not silly, so coggy that gags don't work as well. I feel like that should be enough of an explanation as to why it only happens in field offices. Oh well. Group bonus damage from a level 7 gag will now only apply to the individual cogs that were hit by both a level 1 to 6 gag and level 7. Okay. What used to happen was you could use a cupcake on a cog, right? And a wedding cake on a cog. Someone else uses a wedding cake on all the cogs at the same on the same round. And all the cogs would receive combo damage because the cupcake was used. But now the combo damage only applies to the one cog that used the cupcake, or if you use 3 cupcakes and a wedding cake, then the 3 cogs who were all hit by a cupcake would all receive it. So I guess you can also use 2 wedding cakes to apply bonus damage to all of them. But... Okay, the CEO battle now rewards 1 additional pink slip per difficulty level. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, tier 5 giving 6. What if we just say this? What if the tier levels are now based off of still based off the number of pink slips you get? We just get rid of tier 1 and we go to tier 6. And go from tier 2 to 6. Boarding groups. You can now form boarding groups for cog buildings on streets, as well as the new solid field offices. Just stand near the elevator you'd like to enter and look for the arrow on the left side of your screen. Must now start a boarding group through the available menu on the left side of your screen before inviting another player. Ah, okay. Does that apply to cog HQs? After careful consideration, we made a few design changes to boarding groups to encourage healthier gameplay and a better experience for new players who do not know how to use them. I just read a lot there, sorry. I read a lot without taking a breath. To form a boarding group, you must now stand next to the elevator of the facility you would like to enter. Ah. Additionally, to enter the facility, the leader of your boarding group must enter the elevator instead of pressing the go button. We know that some players may be disappointed with this change, I can understand that, but please give it a shot. We believe it will create a much better experience for everyone by making it more apparent which facilities students are trying to enter, as well as encourage level exploration in a way that has been lost over the years. That I can agree with. The level exploration. Which brings me to a new point. The elevators in Cashbot headquarters, they need to be moved. If they're doing this, you need to go to the elevator to make groups. The Bully and Mint elevator is on the other side of the train tracks, and I don't think people want to walk all the way over there. So they need to move the Bully and Mint elevator to probably both the Bully and Mint and the Dollar Mint one actually to next to the Coin Mint elevator, or maybe actually they could put the Bully Mint elevator in a similar spot than the Dollar Mint one is, but have it right next to the stairs. So people don't have to walk very far. The Coin Mint one would be all the way to the left, and the Dollar Mint one would be all the way to the right. Yeah, the Bully Mint one at the bottom of the stairs. In a similar position as the Dollar Mint one. The Dollar Mint one is now, I mean. That way people don't have to walk all the way across the train tracks to do a Bullion Mint. Bullion Mint are really popular, too. And this also gets me wondering about the factory, because people don't use the factory elevator even. Well, actually, they do use it sometimes, but not as often as like DA office elevators. DA office elevators are just straight walk; they just use those. But the factory elevators are not used as much. They are used sometimes, but not really as much. People are now going to be crowding at the elevator to make groups. Same thing with the mints now. And I remember in TTO, maybe early TTO or 2, I can't remember. People used to crowd underneath in the tunnel that was underneath the giant cog head. And all of a sudden, I logged into the game one day, nothing changed. And then I went to the cog factory, and all of a sudden, people were at the tunnel that leads to the courtyard. I'm like, okay, that's new, but I'll take it. What happened to the tunnel? Some people are gonna be now that people are gonna move again and crowd at the elevator. Also, yeah, when they said you have to click an arrow on the left side of your screen, that's what it said over here, and they explain what that arrow said. Yeah, right over here, and they explain what that arrow was in here somewhere. Okay. And also, the side entrance elevator, that can probably stay where it is, because for one, it doesn't make sense for the side entrance elevator to be right next to the front entrance elevator, considering it's a front entrance. The side entrance would realistically be on the other side of the factory, which it is. So it makes sense that it's moved somewhere else in the courtyard as well. So, and also, since nobody ever does the side factory anyway, except they did use the side factory a lot when trying to figure out the ARC stuff for field offices, I think it can stay where it is. And for the people who really still want to do side factories, they can just go to the elevator. I mean, they said they want people to explore, right? But also, going back, now that I say that they wanted people to explore, third level exploration, still, the Bullion Mint being on the other side of the train tracks, I mean, people aren't going to want to walk that far. People don't even walk all the way to the CFO door. They hope that someone's already there and teleport to them. And most of the time, because considering people go AFK there a lot, there is going to be someone there in the full district that's already at the doors. Just teleport to them. You don't have to waste 3 minutes walking across all of the train tracks, avoiding the trains, avoiding the cogs, walking all the way up the stairs. Literally the biggest headquarters in the game. Could not be any worse. But I do hope they'll add some sort of way to more quickly get to the elevator. Because, again, I can just imagine, even though I am max, and I know this, and I would still find this to be an issue, that people would not be happy with having to go all the way to the Bullion elevator to do it. But, yeah. Bosses do not have the elevator issue, as most of the time when I do bosses, we always go into the elevator. Actually, no, strike that. VP and CFO don't seem to follow that as much, because the VP and CFO lobbies are typically already have a lot of people in them, and so people typically just form boarding groups there. Unless you're doing a Cold Colors Guild. But CJ and CEO, you need a Toon HQ group for that. Like, pretty much all the time. Unless it's a Cold Color Guild group again. And so everyone walk to the elevator. So, easy. Even though the CEO one is pretty far away, and it takes like 30 seconds in the elevator, people walk to it. It's pretty cool. But yeah. So, I do wonder how they're going to do with the fact that you have to walk across the entirety, almost the entirety of Cashbot headquarters to get to the Bullion Mint elevator. I am pretty sure that people don't even know that there's an elevator for the Bullion Mint or the Dollar Mint, maybe even the Coin Mint, or even the side entrance of the factory, because no one ever goes to them. Because you have no reason to go to where the Bullion Mint elevator is unless you want to explore. You don't have any reason to go to where any of the elevators are, really, unless you want to explore. And unless you want to explore again, you'll have no reason to go to where the side entrance elevator is. But the DA office elevators do not have this issue because they're all next to each other and it's just a straight walk. It's not that long. I don't typically see people use boarding groups for them. And the golf courses, the golf carts are spread out, but it's neat. It's more neat than Cashbot headquarters. So I think that's pretty good. So they are used pretty frequently. That is very strange. I wonder how they're going to expand, if they're going to do more on that. Better please people. Anyway. Rework tune drop shadows for better game performance and better visibility on ramp surface. Oh, so like does the drop shadow slant on ramp surfaces? Optimize cog animations in congested areas to boost game performance. Huh. Okay. Implement the new speed chat phrases related to boarding groups. Oh, so speed chat phrases used for boarding groups. Right, there already were speed chat phrases for boarding groups, like, can I join your boarding group and stuff like that. But I guess they add more from. Added, I'm not working on a toon task speed chat phrase. That's a nice one. We don't have a toon task? Only thing you could say was, I need to get a toon task. Which just, I don't need to get one. I just don't have one. I don't need to work on anything. Simple as that. So yeah, great. Implemented various other speed chat phrases. Let us know if there's any others you need to communicate effectively. Okay, cool. Wonder what those speed chat phrases are. Maybe field office related ones? Miscellaneous. Not very much there. Usually miscellaneous has a lot, but not this time. Okay. Certain existing toon task icons have received a facelift. I don't know what that is. Oh, is it like the cog gears when you have to defeat cogs? Okay. Addressed a long-standing issue that caused the catalog notification to be too far to the left. Yeah, that was caused by the centimeter icon. When you click on it, it goes away, right? The Clarabelle icon would not update that, and would get stuck on the left, just further to the left. When you've completed your final gag training toon task, the page in the sticker book will be hidden. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I guess there's no point in having that page if you're not going to get any more gag tracks. Button to open the toon detail panel is no longer clickable when the toon detail panel is already open. Oh, so you click on a toon's panel, and then there's like the arrow at the bottom left of it to show the gags and stuff. It's not there anymore. I believe if you had like a laggy computer, you could actually use that to go through corners and stuff, which I guess it's not technically against the rules to go into the gray, because the gray is actually part of the lore, and I've seen cast members and staff members go into the gray before. If that was a bannable offense now, that would be kind of surprising. I can imagine it being a bannable offense doing it in COG facilities, but in general, it should be alright, I think. But getting that from a person who's banned from the game, okay? Don't listen to me. The button to, oh, that's okay. Due to the lengthy amount of time this expansion has been developed, due to the lengthy amount of time this expansion has been development. I think they forgot to put the word in after the word been. Has been in development. There are even more changes that we can't even remember. In general, you should notice improved stability, polish, and quality of life features around. Wow. I wanted to look at, here we go. This thing again. So, I believe on the Discord server, I saw this, here, right? I saw something that says something about 90 gags. It turns out that, someone showed a picture of it on the Discord, I think. And it turns out that was actually a mistake with the devs, because the devs can have access to have more gags, because they're devs. But then Joey ended up confirming that that's actually was a mistake on our end, that we're not actually going to increase the cap on gags yet. You said not now, so I'm guessing that's going to mean that's a teaser for, like, it could happen later. Maybe for the next update of field offices, or when they add other field offices, or executive office tower, whenever that happens. Oh wait, I was already here. Whoops. I don't think I need. Okay, yeah, I don't need to see this. Let's go here. Okay, so I wanted to go to. Oh yeah. I wanted to go to Town/balancing. I'm gonna put that in my browser. Ah, look at this. Um, sorry. Okay. Let's read this. Oh, it's really long. Okay, I'll read it. Whatever. Let's read it. Why not? It's already been an hour, but this has been a fun read. I gotta say, this has been a fun read. This is great. As part of the Cellbot Task Force expansion, the game design department over at Toontown Written has decided to take a bold new step with the game's first ever battle rebalancing update. Great job. In the entire history of Toontown Online and Toontown Written's lifespan, such an event has never occurred before. Thank you for saying that instead of saying Toontown, because that can be misleading when you say Toontown, because there are other servers out there. Corporate Clash, Universal, Desert Storm, Offline. Now I understand you guys market yourself as the Toontown team, but still, I feel like just saying Toontown is just vague. It's too vague, and people always get that confused. I appreciate that they said Toontown Online and Toontown Rewritten this time instead of just saying Toontown. That's good. But as time passed and more work was put into the expansion, it became clear that there were... Actually, I'm going to zoom in on this, because there's no reason to see... There we go, that's better. No reason to see all the stuff on the side there. It became clear that there were various changes that could be made to make the battle experience in Toontown more fun and offer better future challenges, which is exactly what we aim to do. We'll be covering changes made to gags, boss rewards, and battle mechanics. If you're a long-time Toontown player and are very familiar with the current meta, don't fret. Thank you. I've been banned for a long time. I feel like I still know quite a lot about the battles, so... While rebalances to the battle system may sound alarming at first, we aim to preserve what makes Toontown special for so many of our players, while adding on top of what we feel will help those special battles continue to stand out as more new challenges get added to the game. Oh, that reminds me. So, preserve what makes Toontown so special for many of our players. Oh, that's weird. Highlighting. I've heard a couple people talking about how they don't... Actually, I didn't hear them say it about themselves. I heard them say it about other people. How they don't want rewritten to add field offices because it ruins the nostalgic and vanilla and like feel and how rewritten is really close to the old game that they had in their childhoods. Field offices ruins that experience. And I can understand why they feel that way, but I feel still field offices are a great expansion to the game. I can agree with them on some parts, like the gag GUI is definitely gonna feel very weird at first. The gag damage values and stuff. Oh yeah, definitely the Cogs miss and Toon Set SOS cards being changed. I can agree with them on things like that. To me, the reason I don't like them as much as I should is because it does feel like it's taking it away from what Toontown rewritten or online or vanilla Toontown would be. I feel like that might be a little stretch, but I think when it comes to small things like that, I can agree. When it comes to bigger things like the Cellbot Field Office, that's a little different. I feel good about that. Some people are even upset about the sprint button because it's not even a button. You actually have to just press up twice. I've read the patch notes, so I know how it works. So it's not really much of a button. It's more of as it is just an activation, I guess. If that's what you want to call it. Okay. And even then, people are like, I don't want this because it makes the game too casual. Someone even said that all because of the sprint button, Toontown, it doesn't feel like, okay, not just the sprint button, but with stuff including the sprint button, Toontown doesn't feel like the childhood game anymore. The reason the sprint button is bad is because it adds on to that and it makes the game feel more casual and the game is too easy. And at this point, I'm like, wait, no. I think you're going a little too far with this. Sprint button just makes the game a little more tolerable. It doesn't necessarily make it more easy. Tolerable does not mean easy. It just means... I don't know, tolerable. I don't know. But, So for most of the people I see who don't like the sprint button, I think it's really weird because it just makes the game more tolerable, and overall, you don't have to use the sprint button. It makes the game more tolerable, and just why? Why do you not like it so much? Because like you did say, it makes the game more casual. but I mean, it's a sprint button. Like it's a sprint button. Why does that matter? And um, it does not make the game more easy. In my opinion, it doesn't. It makes it more tolerable. Different words. um. Anyway, Cog Battle Calculations. Start off, we're going to going over some of the calculation changes that are relevant for the rest of our balance tweaks that revolve around the gag balancing. Most notably, level 12 cogs have had their health reduced by a smidge. Oh, okay, this is small now. In Toontown Online, level 12 cogs were given a slightly larger increase in strength than lower level cogs to solidify them as the highest tier of cogs. Makes sense. Wanted to keep this differentiation for cogs high up in the corporate ladder, but also would like to leave room for stronger cogs in the future. Even stronger cogs. Ooh, okay. To account for this principle, we've slightly lowered the health of level 12 cogs. The level 12 plus cogs now have a unique formula that determines their base health. In correspondence, a level 12 cogs base health amount has been slightly decreased. They won't tell us what this formula is. When version 2.0 cogs made their debut in Toontown Online, they featured a new mechanic that was not only unusual but confusing for many players due to inconsistent such buggy behavior. I like how they're addressing all this stuff. I like this. This is really fun to read. This was referred to by the community as carryover damage. Yeah. When receiving bonus damage from the same gag track, in various circumstances, that damage could apply to the new Skeleton Cog. So Universal actually expanded on carryover damage and made it so that instead of making it, it's not just bonus damage. It's actually that if you use multiple gags of the same gag, and the first gag to be thrown at the cog kills it, the next like 2 or 3 to be thrown in it will apply to the Skeleton Cog, not just the bonus damage. And if the bonus damage is what kills the cog, then any other remaining bonus damage won't apply. It's just any new damage numbers that appear is what does the carryover damage. Anyway, Universal actually expanded on carryover damage by making it so that instead of it having to be new damage values that appear to carry over their damage, they actually made it so that any damage that goes over the cog's maximum HP will automatically carry over, essentially making version 2.0 cogs even weaker. Which, honestly, since version 2.0 cogs have been frowned upon by a lot of people, I can understand why this changed with me. Just to make version 2.0 cogs easier to deal with, so that they're not, Big CEO, it doesn't change the aspects of CEOs very much, since the carryover damage that happens in CEOs, most of the time they'll only be missing like 5 health, because the sound combos do like basically exactly enough damage to kill the first shell, so there's not gonna be much difference there. But I do like how these different servers are interpreting them differently, where Flash made it so that they have less health, but they do more damage in a second form. Written now makes it so that carryover damage just isn't there anymore, and Universal kind of buffed carryover damage, making it so any damage done over the maximum carries over. So yeah, and other servers kind of do the normal thing where any new damage values are what apply. Okay. We decided to remove this mechanic from the game to address 2 things: encouraging teamwork-based strategy using encouraging teamwork-based strategy using alternating gag tracks to overkill a version 2.0 cog, resolving the majority of visual quirks and bugs that version 2.0 cogs were displayed. Yes, okay. They could have fixed those, but I guess based on what they said before, it makes more sense to just do this. So I see. So okay, I see. So they don't want you to just use 4 birthday cakes on a cog to version 2.0 cog to kill it. You want to use 2 birthday cakes, and then like drop after that or something, right? Yeah. In the future, particularly in updates more relevant to them, we may consider further reworking the mechanics of version 2.0 cogs and how often they appear in boss bot content. Version 2.0 cogs. Remove the inconsistent health calculation of carryover damage applying to Skull layer version 2.0 cog. Okay. I call this this health thing here. Okay. I remember when we were looking at here, where's the GUI? Hold on. Oh, better battles. Here it is. So this be. Wait. Oh, come on. Where is it? Come on. Where is it? There it is. You can't see the Cog's total amount of remaining health. I think that sucks kind of, but I guess it's better. I guess what they have here is better than nothing, but still I would prefer that. Also, there's no more option to hide the Cog levels. It's just permanently like that. Just like how Clash kind of made it part of the system. This does remind me of Clash a little bit, I gotta say. Anyway, let's go back to this. Okay. Gag balancing. For the past 18 years, players have been accustomed to the game battle meta. Meta or meta, I don't know. That Toontown Online first established. But as we started experimenting with more challenging battle scenarios, we found a lot of traditional strategies not living up to combat experience we anticipated. With the following balance changes to gags, we hope to invigorate future battles with more opportunities and dynamic strategies that will keep players sharp and on their toes as opposed to autopiloting well-worn slapstick. We didn't want to jump blindly into assumptions though, so wait, hold on. Future battles more. Oh, I see, yeah, okay. Yeah, autopiloting well-worn slapstick. Sound is autopilot though, kind of. We didn't want to jump blindly into assumptions though, so we pulled out the data of what gag tracks our players invest in, many of whom are familiar with Toontown's battle meta or get advice from those who do. Due to the overwhelming results we found, we decided in particular to strengthen the qualities of Trap and Drop, which are two very neglected gag tracks. For those statistical scientists out there, here's a sneak peek at what the results we found. Okay. Global Parry Blaze, gag track, none. Okay, for 100 left tunes and above. Okay, so the least amount of tunes are soundless, that is to be expected. Dropless, trapless is almost 50-50. Lureless, genopless is in there as well. I'm surprised they didn't say anything about how sound can kind of just let you breeze through everything. Other than maybe field offices. Tuneup has consistently kept a reputation of always healing more than enough for the team, particularly in the endgame experience. These high-tier gags being toned back will now make them feel like they're doing just enough, while simultaneously giving more demand to high dive. Okay, well, actually, I don't like that last part. I feel like you shouldn't be there shouldn't be demand to use a level 7 gag. Level 7 gags are fun to use when you're in a pinch, but I feel like the way they worded this here makes it seem like we're going to want to rely on high dive a lot more, which doesn't sound right for a level 7, in my opinion. Yeah, we saw this already. Okay, Trap has been recognized by many tunes as only being viable after receiving your TNT gag. There's a health adjustment to level 12 cogs. These additional buffs should make more of the track more appealing to utilize in everyday strategy, especially when organic gags are involved. More strategic opportunities will not present themselves when assisted by drop gags. So organic road is actually useless now because actually that's not true. In a field office, if you have 13 or 14 cogs, I'd assume they have more than 200. I guess so. Fine. Not too useful, I guess, but still something. Despite the heavy improvement, so does that mean that organic would do 220 damage? Ooh, that's a lot. Despite the heavy improvements to the Trap gag track, players who choose to use Trap against cogs higher than level 12 will still require some extra assistance. The carrying capacity of all Trap gags has been increased the same level as other gags. Yeah, base damage range. Oh yeah, Railroad. Yeah, we rode out of those. Okay, cool. In the current meta, we feel that Lure is in a good spot. However, there are a couple things we'd like to address. Although many weren't aware, Lure had the passive ability to combine Lure rounds when multiple Lure gags were used simultaneously. Yeah. But given the faster pace of Toontown's turn-based combat and due to its redundancy as well as how absurdly high it is possible to stack Lure around, we have decided to remove this mechanic from the game. For similar reasons, also I feel like all of this stuff is also accommodate for field offices, which again could have just made it so it only applies to field offices, but considering they're giving us reasons as to why it should belong in the whole game, I feel better about that. For similar reasons to lure stacking removal, we have decreased the number of lure rounds the presentation gag does, which is very high in comparison to the rest of that track. Yes, it is. In return, its accuracy has slightly increased so that usage in dire situations remains prevalent. Move the lure stacking rounds mechanic. Oh yeah, okay. So they just copied it into the patch notes. Okay, cool. To address the elephant trunk in the room, we are keenly aware of how powerful sound gags are in Toontown. Sound became a highly attractive gag track in the later years of Toontown Online due to its efficiency in Cog HQ facilities and boss battles. So much quicker to use sound and everything. We're also aware of how many tunes. I love how they said elephant trunk in the room too. That's fine. Okay. We're also aware of how many sound. How many tunes enjoy using sound for this reason, even if it may be seen as a slightly overpowered gag track. Yes, I know. We all know how overpowered sound is, but I still like using it. It just makes everything easier. Without, it's so much faster to do back nines and CEOs. I like sound how it is. Even though it's overpowered, I like how it is. People have made arguments that like you could nerfing sound would make it too underpowered. Like to the point where it's not reusable anymore. And buffing it would make it even more overpowered. That everything would just be sound. Like we'd be using even more sound than we were before. Whatever. Anyway. We don't understand a lot of folks will be frustrated by that. Yeah. Oh wait, sorry. If sound would be weakened as the game is now, we know and understand that a lot of folks would be frustrated by that. I think it would frustrate probably more people than anything would frustrate people have been frustrated about in this game. Sometime in the future, we hope to take a closer look at sound in conjunction with Cog HQs and areas of the game to see how we can make it the most fun to play without necessarily being everyone's go-to. Yeah, that is a very difficult thing to accommodate for. And to be honest, I don't know how to solve this issue. Honestly. Considering they're not going to add cogs like executive cogs that can kind of counter sound, without that option, I don't know where to start with that. And I would commend them for finding something to do that while still making sound a fun gag to use. Drop. Oh, so they didn't do anything with throw and squirt, I guess? Oh, level 7 gag. Okay, wait, I'll look at that later. Drop's strongest qualities come from being a reliable finisher with more situational usages than trap. As we further strengthened the trap gag, we felt the drop track needed a similar boost to remain the same caliber. Alongside the health adjustment of level 12 cogs. Actually, hold on a sec. Can I get rid of? Oh, I can't. Oh, that's so much better. Okay, okay, good. I didn't realize I didn't realize my face cam was getting in the way of that. Okay. We felt the drop track needed a similar boost to remain the same caliber. Alongside the health adjustment of level 12 cogs, high-tier drop gags are provided with new strategic opportunities, especially when organic. So they kind of explain the patch notes. Actually, yeah, they said that, didn't they? Yeah, yeah, we explained this more in Toon.town/bouncing stuff. Okay. The save in particular will now receive a damage range similar to that of the Grand Piano, with the higher max damage output than before. Why is Trap the only gag track that doesn't vary in damage when it's not maxed? It's so weird. With a higher max damage output than before. So its minimum damage is the damage it used to have. We hope this provides an intriguing dynamic of strategy that was previously impossible, such as increased teamwork between trap and drop, or the higher risk involved with stacking multiple drop gags against a cog. Okay. A critical change to level 7 gags is the group bonus. Ah, there we go, yep. Same track damage calculation. In the past, using a level 1 to 6 gag against a single cog alongside level 7 gag would extend group bonus damage to all the cogs involved in the same battle. I'm glad they explained. I explained this already, but I'm glad they're really explaining it well. Now, only the single cog that was hit with both gags will receive the bonus damage, while the other cogs will only receive the base damage of the level 7 gag, and if they're lured, probably bonus damage there. We hope to encourage more teamwork-based plays that require more strategic assistance. Rather than letting one individual player take the literal cake, a team will need to keep a keen eye on which cogs require additional damage that round. I guess it also kind of allows role controls to play a better role, I guess, and also would make tier 5 CEOs interesting, because people tend to spam level 7s in those and just hit the other cogs with other gags and then kill all the cogs. Now, they can't do that. I guess they can still do that and have 3 other gags and leave 1 alive. But, okay. Group bonus thing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. Hey, sorry. SOS cards. In regards to how often SOS cards can be used, we briefly considered adding a cooldown for SOS card usage. However, given that they are both consumable items and take up an entire turn to use, we decided that it felt unnecessary to invent a cooldown. That makes sense to me. Accuracy SOS cards. We're highly invested in the element of randomness that contributes to intriguing and fun gameplay where players cannot guarantee the outcome of the battle run. Honestly, that's something that people don't like about the game, is that the outcome of the battle is like almost uncontrollable because you can miss every single time without being able to do anything about it. And adding more RNG to that, to the SOS cards, can make people upset, but I can understand where they're going with it. Since their debut, however, accuracy-based SOS cards like Toon's Hit and Cog's Miss removed some of this randomness and appeared to make battles a little too dull when used. I feel like people like them because, I don't know, people are just getting upset with the RNG, and we're like, you know what, let's just use Toon's Hit, we get out of here, like, I'm getting tired of this. But, okay. I guess it does still make you more likely to hit, but just, like, decreased fish rarity, silly team, just because the chances of it working is higher, that can still mean that RNG can hate you and it will never happen, right? It's just so annoying that RNG works that way. To address this, Toonset and Cog's Miss will now make use of a new accuracy up and accuracy down status effects. Copied from Clash. They won't be a guaranteed hit or miss, but still a very high chance. In exchange, we decided to give each SOS tune involved an extra round of the lasting status effect than before. No longer provides perfect accuracy hits or misses. Tunes' accuracy up increases the maximum Cog attack accuracy up to 95%, and then, okay. Cog Battle provides a side effect for 2 rounds instead of 1, okay, whatever. Okay. Yeah, all that stuff was already said on the patch notes. Technically. We've rebalanced restock SOS cards, but slightly more powerful than restock unites due to the fact that they take up a turn to use. I like that. Flash made it so that you can only use it with tunes who are in a battle with you, or or you can't use it on tunes who are in a battle. But I guess Durian doesn't have to go down that route, I guess. So unites, sorry. Yeah, to type the table whole turn, they need to be commented for that. In addition, we've tweaked the amount of gags that will be restocked depending on what kind of restock it is. Actually, so, oh yeah, adding a cooldown for SOS cards. They said to say that here, right? Random Dog once said something along the lines of, while we may not agree with certain changes, if enough people suggest them to us in our hub server, it might just happen, right? Like the sprint button. The sprint button has been discussed for a long time, but so many people wanted it that they're like, let's add it in. Sprint button is a prime example of that, and then it got backlash from it. Like, guys, just make up your mind. Do you want sprint button or not? Oh, and we tweaked the amount of gags that will be restocked depending on what kind of restock it is. We're intentionally giving these restocks less quantities than before to prevent them from filling a player's inventory with unwanted gags. We'd like these rewards to restock just enough for high-level gags to be appealing, but not overstocking to a degree that could be frustrating. Thank you. Yeah, see, as I said, restocking like your 6s and 5s, not much else. Okay, yeah, we got that. Professor P, yeah, okay. We felt that tune-up SOS cards were a bit less powerful than expected in combat. Yep, I said that. Especially when the healing was distributed amongst 4 tunes instead of 3. Exactly. We decided to buff their healing potential to feel more worthwhile to use rather than using an ordinary tune-up gag. Heals 180 lap points. Oh yeah, yeah. Wow. See, Mana Chuckle used to be 45. Putting that on 4 tunes, 45 divided by 4. 11 for 4 tunes. And the field offices from TTO gave cards that were worse than that. To the point where the 0-star ones didn't even matter how many tunes were present. It just did 13 right off the bat. Because of how weak it was, they're like, you know what? It does so little that I don't think we can decrease it anymore. I don't think it was 13, but it was like such a small value that was like, it wouldn't even decrease after being, it wouldn't even decrease anymore after like 2 tunes. Okay. Notice that the lower tiered trap SOS cards had something of a reputation of not dealing enough damage and ironically discouraging players from strategic plays. I once went sad a long time ago in a VP because someone used a Clerk Ray? Clerk Ray? No, Clerk Will. Clerk Ray restocks trap. Clerk Will uses the low trap. They used Clerk Will thinking it would do a lot of damage. I used Lure. They used an SOS card. I'm like, I hope that's a good SOS card. They used Will, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, that looks pretty good. It was in a second round of VP, I was low laugh and stuff, right? All the cogs take 60 damage, and I die. Because none of the cogs died. Anyway, I'm glad they're doing this. Due to the cogs being primed to attack after... Oh, sorry. Player from story, but due to the cogs being primed to attack after the reward usage. People could even use them to green, like... So you say, some people to lure because they use a Clara instead you use a Clerk Will. These buffs should help create a better impression of these cards to be utilized more conveniently. Sorry, I'm talking a lot, so it's like trying to recommit breaths a little bit. Okay. I'm talking pretty quickly too, so. In reading. To allow room for the presentation gag to shine, we're lowering the effectiveness of the 5-star Lure SOS card down to 5 rounds of Lure. While still powerful, this leaves room for presentation to be the top tier Lure gag in situations that require it. Yeah, Little Old Man was just a free presentation. Did I say that already? I'm not sure. I don't think I said that already. Little Old Man, maybe I did. Little Old Man was essentially just a free presentation. No, I did say that actually. I did. Yes. Little Man was a free presentation because it did the same exact thing presentation does, but it was perfect accuracy. So, sound SOS cards. These sound SOS. Sorry, right. These sound SOS cards can be sensitive to work with because the slightest damage tweaks could drastically change the viability of the cards in everyday combat. That's what I said about normal sound. Changing the values at all changes like so much about it. We carefully decided to slightly tweak their damages to differentiate their viability from the other star variants and the sound gags themselves. So, so right, Mozart uses a foghorn. Wait, we've carefully decided to slightly tweak the damages to differentiate their viability from the other star variant. Oh, is it to make him? Is it to make it so we're not always using 5-star or something? Like we might actually go and deal. Oh, Sid was actually buffed. Oh, Sid was buffed. Oh, that's cool. Okay, yeah, okay. But Barbara Seville was nerfed. Okay, interesting. Drop SOS cards. We consider drop SOS cards to be a good spot right now. They're reliable, a dependable finisher move, and have a good pacing for each star value of SOS card. Therefore, we have not made any changes to drop SOS cards this time. Well, what if you use a Bessie and a Franz in a field office? That does 270 damage with bonus damage. You can kill all the cogs, I would assume even a level 15? Man. And people have a lot of SOS cards, trust me. A lot of those. They could just breeze through field offices with those. But I can imagine the Boiler Room boss would not allow that to way. Would the SOS cards hit the Boiler Room boss? Huh. Unites. Unites are a prized possession when it comes to battles in Toontown. Yes, they are. About to die? Slap Unite, you're not dead anymore. Like, I guess he can't save you from being dead, but if you're about to die, slap Unite, and then you're not gonna die anymore. They're capable of changing. I feel like I once had a dream as well where they made it so that you could use a Unite on a Toon who had died in battle, and before they disappear, and they'll come back. This was a long time ago, so before I got banned. They're capable of changing fates in the midst of battle at any time. Due to the powerful application of these words in battle, we have decided to place a cooldown on tune-up and gag Unites after they are used. As I said, it's not going to feel much like rewritten anymore, than it will just feel like a really tweaked version of rewritten. It'll just feel like, it won't feel like the rewritten I know, I have to admit. It will still be rewritten, it won't feel like the rewritten I know for a bit. I have to admit that. But that is not to say that I am upset that they did this. I understand that they did it, and I can't argue with it. But I still have to say that it's not going to feel like the rewritten I know for quite some time after all these changes. So, wait, sorry, let me... Did they say this in the patch notes? I think they did. I'm like forgetting what I read in the patch notes, honestly. What was I gonna say? Jesus. Oh, maybe I finished my thought. Whatever. When a battle-related unite is used during a battle, the player will immediately be inflicted with the unite cooldown status effect that will prevent them from using another battle-related unite for the next 3 rounds. If used between turns, the 3 rounds would start at the next turn. When used outside of battle, the player will enter a time-based cooldown of 3 minutes that will disable the unite phrases. Yeah, I think I did read this in the patch notes. This time will be displayed in the speech chat menu itself. Will there be like a time? Oh, timer will be displayed in the speech chat menu. Okay, so you have to open the menu just... Oh, there might be like a timer right next to the unite phrase in the speech chat menu, like counting down or something. Okay. Probably in seconds, like the one in Clash does. As soon as the tune uses either tune up or gag unite, they will be on unite cooldown for 3 rounds. This will make effect whenever the gag selection screen is next available. As soon as the tune uses either a tune up or gag unite, they will be on unite cooldown for 3 minutes. Unites used outside of battle will still impact nearby tunes in battle. Okay, cool. Timer-based cooldowns will convert to a round-based cooldown when joining a battle. Every minute will add an additional round to the generated status effect. Timer-based cooldowns will convert to a round-based cooldown when joining a battle. Oh, oh yeah, okay, sorry. Okay, excuse when I read that first. Okay. But timer-based cooldown was activated. Finishing a battle with no round-based cooldown remaining will, will not convert backwards. It's possible you could still have an old timer-based cooldown remain active after wait. So, but timer-based cooldown was activated. Finishing a battle with no round-based cooldown remaining, not convert backwards. So, I don't know what they're saying here. So timer-based. So you use one outside of battle, and then you finish a battle after all the rounds have been up. It won't convert. Why would they convert backwards? You don't have any left anyway. It's possible you could still have an old timer-based cooldown remain active after finishing a battle. What? Like, I understand what they're saying, that like after you finish a battle, might be on old timer-based. Honestly, I can't explain this to myself pretty much either. I'm not exactly sure what they're saying here. Like, I get that what they're talking about, the unites and being in battles and how it converts to timer based and stuff, but I don't exactly know what they're trying to tell us in this last one here. Okay, almost done. Almost done. The previous unite carrying capacity carried over from Toontown Online was left nearly limitless with each individual unite, which hurts the balance of the game and encourage unhealthy collector habits. Right. To help combat these issues, we've lowered the capacity of individual unites to 100 each. Oh yeah. Carrying capacity 100 players that have over 100 unites. The specific type will have that have over 100 unites of a specific type have until May 31st to spend the rewards before any unites of this capacity will be lost. Go into those field offices and use them before they go away. May 31st. That would be June 1st. Be the next day is what I'm saying. Yeah, max tune-up unites being able to use whenever you want. That's kind of busted. I can understand completely why they did it, but people probably aren't very happy about it. Sorry, hold on. Yeah, it was busted because you could just use it whenever you want. Okay, sorry, I was looking at something on Discord, sorry. The following changes aim to smooth out the curve of virus found with tune-up unites. These unites were just a bit too powerful for current Cog battles and limited the possibilities of challenges in future content. Okay, right, yeah, sorry, I can understand that, yeah. Field offices in general would be way too easy with that. Additionally, we've added a cap to the amount of gags that were restocked when using gag up units to prevent unwanted gags related to inventory. Those were made more of for our sake instead of the game's sake. So these caps are slightly lower than SOS cards due to their liability to use without taking up a random battle. Okay, yeah, we read what the values are now. 10 Champion Unite was kind of useless. 20 is good though. So okay. Okay, single track unites restock. Oh yeah. Pink slips. Whew, I like pink slips too. Pink slips are a bit of a wild card due to the range of viability in cog battles. Naturally, the stronger the cog, the more value a pink slip holds. We've also noticed the difficulty in obtaining a large sum of pink slips due to range reward including the CEO battle. Clash kind of fixed that by by hold on. Oh yeah, by making it so you earn a lot more from the CEO, but cogs also take more to fire. So I'm getting hungry because I'm talking a lot, sorry. With these changes, we hope to strike a solid middle ground of obtaining end value, while also encouraging teams to use pink slip more often in battle, with a slightly lower overall cap. I'm actually getting really hungry now. I've been talking for so long, like 2 hours? Oh, hour and a half, okay. Keep things consistent with the other boss rewards. We'll be shaving off the carrying capacity to be a nicer looking number. Hold on. I see. So they want to make them less. Make it so we can hold less, but we can hold less, but we can earn more, and also make them more useful to use. Okay. Okay. As of September 2021, we looked at the following statistics from our database. There were 227 tunes that maxed out with 255 pick slips. Oh, I'm one of those tunes, by the way. There were 539 tunes that have at least 200 pick slips. Only 227 tunes. That's kind of a small number. Huh. The carrying capacity of now 200, previously being 255, 200, okay, yeah. Okay, almost done. To make each CEO feel more rewarding to participate in, we're going to be making each difficulty tier of the CEO give an active pink slip compared to before. The easiest possible difficulty will grant 2 pink slips, while the hardest will grant 6. Nice for using a fire on that one big cheese you get at the end of the feeding round. You can still gain from that if it's tier 1. All CEO difficulty tiers now reward next. Oh yeah, okay, okay. Okay. Thank you for reading. Oh, it's done. Okay. That was a fun read. I gotta say, I'll finish reading first. Now that we're at the end, we would like to personally thank you for taking the time to read all of these changes happening in Tinder Ruin. And I want to personally thank them for doing all this cool stuff. When it comes to something as drastic and scary as game balance, it's important for us to involve all of you in our thought processes so that community can understand why changes are made. Toontown means so much to all of us, and we want the game to be the most fun that it can be for us. I'm glad I read this because, as I was talking about before, some of these balance changes I thought could only be for field offices, but as they explain themselves here, it makes sense that it's for the whole game. I like that. Nostalgia strikes a chord. I like that they're being transparent about all the decision making and why they did stuff like this. This is nice. Nostalgia strikes a chord to many of our players playing this game. I would agree. I can wholeheartedly agree with that, and us as well, for that matter. But hopefully, this different tune doesn't take much away from what the original game provided. I hope it doesn't. I don't think it will much for me. As I said, it will feel different for me at first, but I will probably get over it. These changes are made of a big mix of observation. I will definitely miss seeing the old style of the game. Trust me. These changes were made of a big mix of observation, gameplay, and community feedback, but there's no way they are perfect, of course. Above all else right now, we want your feedback. We'd love to hear your thoughts about these changes we've made as well as the ones you'd like to see in the future. Okay, I don't think I have anything for them now, but I might think of something. Before you write off any of these changes, of course, please take some time to play and give them a fair shot. Oh, don't say that to me. I really wish I could, but I can't. Okay. Informed feedback is infinitely more valuable initial reactions. By experiencing, okay, I think the grammar's a little off there, but maybe I'm wrong. Informed feedback is infinitely more valuable initial reactions. Maybe it's right, I don't know. And by experiencing the changes alongside the new content added with sub videos, you'll be able to see them in brand new context that didn't previously exist in Toontown. Yeah. Where can I submit feedback? I'd like to drop us some feedback. We have feedback channels for doing so. The tried and true method is via email. Tried and true method. Just let us know what you're using via student inventory, and our support folks will pass it along. If you're 13 or older, you can also join our official Discord server where you can leave feedback for us to collect with the chat message. So, in case you guys don't know this, I'm banned from the Discord server because I'm banned on the game as well. Apparently, being banned on the game also reflects to the Discord server, and they don't want that. And being muted too, yeah. Being muted also applies to that. If you're muted in the game, you can't say anything in the Discord server. Unfortunately. And that makes me upset again. Sorry. We want the idea of rebalancing Toontown to be an open dialogue, so I thought it said I for a second. So don't hesitate to create proposals or have conversations on social media as well. Only ask that you present your opinions respectfully and with kindness towards the team and other teams. Even if you disagree with something, kindness to other teams. Even if you disagree with something, yes. Disagreeing. I feel like disagreeing is a very big thing in this community, and disagreeing in harsh ways is very common in this community as well, or in society in general. We're working together to make Toontown better after all. That was a very fun and entertaining read. I'm glad I got to read that, and in front of all of you guys as well. Okay. Now I just need to find a way to get myself unbanned. I love the changes that they mentioned. I can't wait for the update to come out. And that's the only thing I want now, is to be able to experience this update on my main account. I've been trying everything I can. Nothing has worked yet. They've been declining my requests. I am going to go for a final attempt on it. And if that doesn't work, well, I already know what I'm gonna do, but I don't want to talk about it right now. I think overall, this update is very good. TTR outdid themselves. Very much so outdid this. I think that now that field offices are gonna come, like, at first I would always be comparing Rewritten to Corporate Clash, because Clash had so much stuff and Written didn't add any real new things. Now that they have, I think it's finally has gotten to the point where they can't be compared. Rewritten added field offices, huge field offices, something really big. How about this? They both added something really big to the game, but they're different things, and so that's why they can't be compared anymore. Is because the major content that they added, that's why they can't be compared anymore, because they both added major content, but the content is different. That you can't just say which content is. Well, you can say which one you like better, I guess, but you can't just say that this one is higher quality than the other, because a field office isn't an overclock boss, right? Like you can't compare a field office to an overclock boss, really. I've seen people say artificial difficulty in overclock bosses, but it feels also because overclock bosses don't work the same way as field offices. They don't work the same way at all. You can't do an overclock boss until you get to bigwig. You get to tier 8 of that specific cog department. You complete the task line that leads up to that boss. And it leads up to that boss, and yeah, stuff like that. Whereas field offices, anyone can do a field office. And there are no requirements to do a field office, but to actually unlock the tasks, you need to have certain requirements to complete the whole task line and stuff like that. Essentially making actual endgame content. I don't believe the overclock CLO to be true endgame content, because you can just complete Berg task line and not complete the rest of the task line, not max any of your gags, just get to level 8 bigwig and then do overclock CLO. That's not necessarily endgame, because really? It's just something to do once you've done enough CLOs. Field offices, on the other hand, are endgame because you don't start doing those tasks until you complete the entire task line. And you get a level 7 gag. So and there's a lot more tasks to do for field offices than the directives are for the overclock bosses. And the overclock bosses don't even give any unique rewards, even. To the point where I think field offices are better than an overclock boss. I said it. Alright, I said it. I just said you can't compare them, but let me rephrase that. You can't compare the two games. You can't compare the games. You can compare the content. You can compare certain pieces of similar content that they have, but you can't compare things like Tuno and field offices, or an overclock boss and the golfing tweaks that they made to the game. Like, those aren't even relevant to each other. But considering overclock bosses and field offices kind of had the same idea, I guess, in terms of endgame thing, which I don't believe overclock boss is really much of endgame, but I think field offices did a much better job at representing true endgame stuff. Sure, overclock bosses can't really be accessed until later in the game, but you don't have to beat the game to access them. You just have to defeat that boss a bunch of times. So the games themselves can't be compared to each other. TTR has their own goals at this point. They've made something really big. Clash has their own goals at this point. They made something really big that is different, that is not field offices, different from that, meant to be different from that. That it feels, I don't know, it feels wrong to me now that field offices are releasing to compare the two servers from each other. I do still think it's okay to compare rewritten to servers that aren't Clash, like Universal, Desert Storm, not offline because that's more of a sandbox game. Fellowship, yeah, stuff like that. Because they are closer to Toontown Online than Clash is. They look the same in terms of art style, right? And stuff like that. But so yeah. I don't know if my message is getting across correctly or if I sound like a hypocrite at all, but that's what I'm saying. One more thing I wanted to say was, oh yeah, right. 1 second. So I really hope I can get unbanned to experience this. I don't want to make a new account. I'm not going to grind a whole nother tune. And if I did, I would have to use a VPN, which would require me to be a different person, which I don't want to do that either. And I can't. I really want to try the field office update on my tunes, so I really hope I can get unbanned again. But only time can tell. Only time can tell. As I said, I didn't want this update to release before I get on while I was still banned. Unfortunately, it ended up happening. But I use that as motivation to keep trying. So, yeah. So, thank you very much for watching this long video. I really liked all of this. Most of it at least. So there were some things I was like, okay, sure, but why? But after reading this, it explained it all. I'm like, okay, yeah. I enjoyed reading this whole document. The patch notes were really fun to read. The field offices, I can't wait. Oh my god. And I think this is a new age for rewritten. Finally. Because the new mechanics now also leaves room for brand new things to be brought into the game much easily now. And stuff like that. The base for field offices is done now. A lot of field offices will be much easier to make if they decide to make those and stuff like that. And I just can't wait to see what else they have to come up with. It will be a while until they actually give us something really big, but still, I can't wait to see what they give us next. I really can't. I can't wait to try out all of this. So thank you very much for listening to me read all of this. I hope you enjoyed hearing about this and reading it with me and learning about it. And I will see you whenever my next video is. Maybe it'll be TTR related, maybe it won't be. Who knows? Goodbye.